All right, so today we're jumping into a book that's, well, it's not your typical self-help guide. It's more like a spiritual combat manual. We're talking about Dr. D.K. Olukoya's Prayer Passport to Crush Oppression. It lays out this whole framework for actively, and I mean actively, fighting back against the unseen forces that can hold people back. So let's get right into the strategy.
I mean, have you ever felt that? That the stuff you're going through, the struggles you're facing, aren't just random bad luck? That it feels more deliberate, more personal, kind of like a weight that's been put on you by some invisible hand.
Well, according to this book, that gut feeling you have, it's spot on. The author argues that these targeted hardships are absolutely real, and he gives them a very specific name: oppression. And this one idea is the central enemy that the entire book is designed to help you fight.
Okay, so let's dig into this. To really get the solution the book offers, we've got to first understand the problem, right? So what exactly is oppression in this context? Let's break it down.
So the book defines oppression in this really broad way. It's not just about physical force, not at all. It's about being pushed down, being subjugated by a power that's stronger than you are in any part of your life. Your money, your job, your mental health, your marriage, even your spiritual life. It's basically the state of being pinned down.
And to really hammer this point home, the author tells this pretty shocking story. It's about a highly educated banker, someone with a master's degree, you know, the picture of success, and she's found in this completely desperate, irrational situation. The book's conclusion is blunt. This is what oppression does. It pushes a person so far past their breaking point that, as a Bible verse it quotes says, it makes a wise man mad.
And get this, it's not just some vague, fuzzy concept. The book actually breaks it all down into 15 distinct categories. You can see just a few of them here. We're talking about the whole spectrum, from physical sickness and mental anguish to problems in your marriage, nightmares, and even burdens that are supposedly passed down through your family line.
All right, so if that's the problem, the next big question is, who's behind it, or what's behind it? The book gets really specific here, even personifying these forces in a very unique way.
I mean, check out these names the author gives these forces. They're super vivid, almost like characters in an epic story. Things like star hunters, who are said to steal a person's destiny, or progress arresters that create roadblocks and stagnation. Within the world of this book, these aren't just metaphors. They're presented as specific, hostile spiritual beings with very particular jobs. It really paints a picture of a deeply personal spiritual war.
So you can see how the problem is being framed, right? It's this violent, maddening attack. And because of that, the book says you need an equally forceful response. This quote right here really sets the stage for the whole strategy. The message is crystal clear. Being passive is not an option. You have to meet force with an even greater force.
And that leads us right to the heart of the book, the actual how-to. This is the battle plan. It's not about just knowing there's a problem, it's about giving you a step-by-step plan for how to fight back.
So the strategy is basically a 4-step spiritual game plan. It all kicks off with salvation, which is presented as aligning yourself with the ultimate power source. Step 2 is repentance, which is seen as a way to cancel any permission or what the book calls legal ground that the enemy might have in your life. Then comes the direct confrontation, casting out the oppressive force, which is based on the idea of spiritual authority. And it's all powered by Step 4, something called violent faith. This is an aggressive, relentless belief that just refuses to take no for an answer.
So what does this violent faith actually sound like in practice? Well, the book is full of these things called prayer points, and they're not really requests. They're more like commands, declarations of war, really. This one here is a classic counterattack, right? Firing back what's been fired at you.
And then there's this one, which gets surgically specific. It targets one of those categories we talked about, inherited oppression. It's not a plea, it's a command for a generational chain to be broken, right now, period.
And check this one out. It shows just how targeted these prayers are. It identifies a very specific spiritual problem, this idea of a padlock on your potential, and then issues a direct order for it to be destroyed. This aggressive, commanding style is absolutely central to how the whole system is supposed to work.
But here's the thing. According to this book, just breaking free, that's only the beginning. The real goal, the ultimate endgame, is to completely flip the script on these forces.
Yeah, this is the crucial power shift. The end game isn't just defense.
It's not just about not being oppressed anymore. It's about going on the offense. It's about moving from a defensive position to becoming the one who is spiritually dominant, so you can suppress your suppressors.
In this quote right here, this is basically the physics of the spiritual world, as the book lays it out. It's a really simple, hierarchical idea. Power always yields to greater power. So the whole strategy is about getting yourself aligned with the ultimate power, so that any lesser oppressive force literally has no choice but to back down.
And this is the promised result. We're talking about a state of total spiritual immunity. The book describes it as a place where you're not even fighting these battles anymore, because these oppressive forces, they're actually scared of you. You become, for all intents and purposes, untouchable.
So it all comes down to this really powerful and, yeah, provocative idea, doesn't it? The book basically says that life's struggles are a kind of madness thrown at you from the outside, and the only way to beat it is with a higher madness, with your own holy violence. It's a really intense framework, and it leaves you with a big question. What does it really mean to channel that kind of focused energy against the storms in our own lives?